At this point, nobody really knows what Blake Lively's endgame is, but one thing's for sure, she's not backing down from drama. In a move that left Hollywood stunned, Blake allegedly set her sights on none other than the undisputed queen of cinema herself, Meryl Streep. Yes, that Meryl. The absolute legend. The mother of all actresses. And y'all, the audacity is off the charts. Sources claim Blake didn't just clash with Meryl. She reportedly tried to push her out of a Netflix project that was literally written with Meryl in mind. When Meryl wasn't having it and walked away from the mess, Blake allegedly turned around and tried to sue her. Yep, because Meryl refused to be bullied on set. The entitlement? Unbelievable, naturally. Netflix realized too late that backing Blake over Meryl was a disastrous move. Without Meryl attached, the entire project lost steam and, according to insiders, the film was quietly scrapped. Because let's face it, Blake Lively alone doesn't sell movies like that, not anymore. And instead of taking accountability, she's throwing tantrums behind the scenes, upset that no one wants to hear what Plantation KSI has to say anymore. Yes, that's the nickname going around. But wait, it gets worse. The backlash isn't just hitting Blake. Word on the street is that her husband, Ryan Reynolds, is catching heat by association. Industry insiders are whispering that some executives are quietly blacklisting Ryan too, purely because of Blake's ongoing chaos. He might be charming and talented, but Hollywood hates risk, and being attached to someone so publicly controversial is starting to work against him. It's like Blake has made it her personal mission to self-destruct and take her husband's career down with hers. Her alleged mean girl behavior is now legendary, and people can't help but notice how much it mirrors the scheming energy of her Gossip Girl character. Except this time, there's no script, no camera, and no redemption arc in sight. This is just Blake, out here burning bridges one headline at a time. Now here's where things get even messier. Apparently, the Netflix movie wasn't just any film. It was supposed to be a high-concept, star-powered project pairing Meryl and Blake as different versions of the same character. Blake was meant to play a younger version of Meryl's character in flashbacks. But, allegedly, that wasn't enough for her. According to sources, Blake wanted more screen time, more than what would reasonably make sense for a past version of someone, and as if that wasn't enough, reports say she tried to wrestle creative control of the project, pushing to take over directing duties because, in her words, she doesn't know how to act in a film she isn't producing. That's not a quote you hear every day. The control issues, according to those who were on the project, made everything unmanageable. So here we are. Meryl's out. The project is dead. Netflix allegedly lost millions. And Blake Lively? She's trending for all the wrong reasons again. The Golden Girl image has all but shattered, and what's left behind is a growing list of feuds, exits, and damaged reputations. Whether she's trying to reinvent herself or just doesn't care anymore, one thing is crystal clear. Hollywood is watching, and Blake's every move is under a microscope now.
When you work with me, I'm very passionate, so I love getting involved. I also don't feel like, and I used to be insecure about this, and now I'm proud of it, but I've never felt like a good enough actor to go in and say, put me in any clothes, give me any dialogue, put me in any set, and I can transform and become. And because I wasn't that actor, I always felt bad or weird about that. And a lot of my favorite actors do that. And a lot of my other favorite actors are storytellers and are filmmakers. And they too feel like they need to be involved in the wardrobe and the set and the dialogue and the words and the storytelling to create an environment in which they feel like it's the most authentic and truthful. And I identify more with that subset of actors than the other. And now that I see that it's not just like, oh, okay, I'm an imposter and I can't do this thing, so I'm embarrassed about it. I see like, oh, a lot of the people I admire most do that, and I can do that, and I can do that really well. So really stepping into that, I've done that in this film. I mean, the work I did as an actor on this film pales in comparison to the work I did outside of the acting. It was very minimal compared to everything else. And I feel so grateful to have had that level of authorship and involvement. It makes me that much more proud of this.
Blake allegedly bulldozed her way through the opening negotiations of a buzzy new Netflix feature, leveraging relationships until nearly every creative decision bent in her favor. Or so the whispers go. What she didn't foresee was Meryl Streep, unimpressed by constant script tweaks and growing egos, walking away at light speed. One brisk phone call from the three-time Oscar winner left the streamer clutching a project with no prestige anchor. Executives who had championed Blake's demands suddenly realized they had bet against the wrong icon. Without Meryl, there was, effectively, no movie left to sell. Panic rippled through the boardroom overnight. Meryl, famously unbothered, pivoted to two prestige dramas and a Broadway revival already courting her, leaving Netflix to swallow its sunk costs. Blake, meanwhile, reportedly stewed. Insiders say she is considering suing Meryl for the millions in back-end points she believes evaporated with a star's exit. The notion sounds absurd, yet Blake has long protected her spotless brand with aggressive attorneys. The first cracks appeared when director-actor Justin Baldoni questioned her conduct, and those fissures are now widening further daily. Justin and Meryl are hardly alone. Rumor has it Margot Robbie, once cordial, put Blake on a permanent arm's-length list after the chaotic casting phase of Greta Gerwig's smash hit Barbie. Gerwig and Margot envisioned an ensemble in which many actresses embodied different variants of the famous doll. Blake's team, sensing pink-tinted box office gold, pitched her as the definitive OG Barbie. Producers reminded everyone the part had been written specifically for Margot and offered Blake a separate role. Insiders claimed she refused, floated rewrites that would erase the ensemble idea, and even demanded an executive producer credit for creative control. The pushback was swift, Margot's circle is deep, and Warner Brothers quietly deleted Blake from every shortlist. Hollywood's grapevine carried the tale like wildfire, and Blake's standing slipped another notch. Predictably, Blake's Dragon Gang, her fiercely loyal online fanbase, launched hashtags framing her as a misunderstood visionary battling jealous rivals. The campaign boomeranged. Neutral followers bristled at the coordinated pylons, and brand managers grew anxious. Wholesome spokesmodel vibes evaporate quickly when comment sections turn toxic, and several lucrative endorsements were suddenly labeled on pause. Investors hate uncertainty, and they started calling politely. The Anna Kendrick saga only amplifies the noise. Their 2018 thriller A Simple Favor earned cult status, but the planned sequel has been plagued by on-set frostbite. Crew members describe midsummer shoots where the temperature felt Arctic thanks to the actress's mutual avoidance. Anna limits chatter to cordial nods, then disappears behind closed trailers. During press days, she sticks to bland compliments. "We work well together," while fans now decode the strained smiles in every photo op. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds, perennially charming, is catching stray bullets. Junkets meant to hype Deadpool and Wolverine come preloaded with marriage queries and lawsuit rumors. His trademark grin looks ever more glued on. Insiders whisper he is exhausted, yet he cannot abandon the united front narrative without torching their carefully curated brand in front of rolling cameras. High-profile friends are recalibrating their proximity. Taylor Swift and Gigi Hadid, once constant brunch partners with Blake, are photographed partying solo. NFL star Travis Kelce quietly unfollowed Blake and Ryan. She reciprocated, yet the message landed. Hollywood rarely broadcasts disapproval that boldly for the world. All roads lead back to control. Every time Blake pushes for top billing, a co-star pushes back, and the casualty list lengthens. Lost projects, frozen sponsorships, skeptical studio chiefs. Sure, reputations can resurrect overnight with the right blockbuster or charity drive, but insiders wonder whether she has crossed the point of no return. One can only mobilize fan armies and threaten lawsuits so many times before colleagues quietly double-lock the dressing room door for their own piece. So the pieces settle like this. Meryl Streep glides away unscathed. Netflix writes off an expensive lesson. Margot Robbie's Barbie dominates pop culture. Anna Kendrick moves on to projects free of backstage warfare. Left center stage is Blake Lively, balancing on an increasingly shaky pedestal, trying to persuade a shrinking circle that the grinning golden girl they once admired still exists beneath the smoke, mirrors, and scorch marks of recent controversies.
That's true. I mean, it feels good when Anna gives me confidence, too. I like compliments. I'm not below compliments. That's what my mom always says. She's like, wants me to compliment her, and she's like, I'm not below compliments. I'm like, it's clear that you're not, because she's always soliciting.
Okay, because you were just telling me about like weird expressions that she gets wrong. Wouldn't it be, I'm not above compliments?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, she gets it all wrong. I never even thought about it. She says it. Yes, she's not above compliments. My mom gets everything sort of
like
flipped.
expression. She was just telling me like
She'll be like smooth as pie. It should be smooth as silk or whatever.
Easy as pie.
Yeah, and smooth as silk. But my mom, I think, is a very confident person, and so for me, yeah, I sort of like struggled with that because I've sometimes judged her for being so confident, which I think is like not fair, right?
Yeah, you're such a bad daughter.
Terrible daughter. See, this is an entire therapy session, what you've stepped into. You didn't realize.
So both of you are very active on social media, and there are a lot of people have opinions about you. How do you kind of just like, not let it affect you at all?
Everyone's opinion of me is just so positive. I do let it affect me. I do. Because everyone's like, you're great. And I'm like, I know.
You're not great. Blocked.
Yeah.
Do you block people then?
No, I've muted some people. Now that it's a function on Twitter and Instagram, there's a couple people that I have muted.
Good.
Yeah. Blake Lively.
You can mute people on Instagram too?
Yeah, it's a new feature.
Really?
I know. Get excited.
Wow.
Anna even revealed that she blocked Blake on Instagram. She took things up a notch at the Another Simple Favor premiere, going out of her way to avoid Blake entirely. The two didn't pose for any photos together, and Anna made a clear effort to steer every conversation away from mentioning or discussing Blake at all.
Poor Anna Kendrick, you guys. She is having to answer questions about Blake Lively tonight. She is at South by Southwest. It is the premiere of her film, Another Simple Favor, that Blake Lively is also starring in. The two of them are both there, and there are definitely a lot of slick questions being asked, trying to get responses out of Anna Kendrick in regards to Blake Lively and everything that is going on. E.T. posted asking Anna what it means to be working with Blake again. And she was like, oh my God.
It means to be working with Blake again.
Talking about you all day.
Then Variety, in a different interview on the carpet, was asking her about the movie and like everything going on right now. Definitely trying to be like, do you think the movie has been impacted by the Blake and Justin stuff, without being so blunt? And Anna tried her best to be like, I don't know, like, what's going on? And she walked away so fast. Like, she did not want to be asked any more questions like that.
How does it feel like the movie's being impacted kind of by everything happening around going on in the world?
Why, what happened? I did ayahuasca and the last year of my life is just gone, but I've heard the movie's amazing.
Wait, thank you.
I just can't imagine how uncomfortable tonight has been trying to like dodge all of these questions and like pretend like that.
Imagine trying so hard to sidestep any mention of a colleague that the strain is actually written across your face. That's commitment, and a nod to Anna for keeping the peace. But Blake's behavior is splashing far beyond her own reputation, dragging her husband Ryan Reynolds straight into the mud. Things are getting so ugly that diehard Reynolds fans are now calling their on-screen superhero a textbook narcissist. Ryan's no saint, sure, but his charisma usually buys him plenty of forgiveness. Not this time. Folks are revisiting the messy origins of his relationship with Blake. Flashback. Both were entwined with other partners when they first shared a set on Green Lantern. Ryan was still married to Scarlett Johansson, and Blake was dating Penn Badgley. Then, blink, and suddenly Ryan and Scarlett announce a split. Penn disappears from Blake's orbit, and the two co-stars start appearing everywhere together, glowing. Fast forward, and the gossip mill is spinning again. The prevailing theory? You lose them the same way you land them. Whispers about Blake's alleged flings with various actors have never truly cooled, and the recent lawsuit tango with Justin Baldoni has only widened the cracks. Hollywood insiders say influential friends want distance, fast. Even the so-called Dragon Gang that once fiercely defended Blake online is scrambling for the exits. Where it really stings, though, is the social network cold shoulder. A-listers rarely bother with the drama of unfollowing. Silence is usually enough. Yet that unwritten rule just shattered. NFL star Travis Kelce, aka Taylor Swift's boyfriend, quietly unfollowed both Blake and Ryan. Blake retaliated by unfollowing him right back, but the damage was done. Around the same time, she was conspicuously absent from Gigi Hadid's birthday bash. Taylor and Gigi partied on happily, prompting whispers that Blake might have been the group's resident fake friend. All along, the optics keep sliding downhill. Blake's camp rolled out a classic distraction play by celebrating her inclusion on Time's 100 Most Influential list. Instead of applause, Time got dragged for allegedly glorifying bullies and narcissists. Comment sections overflowed with claims that the list is now pay-to-play. Adding salt, Blake's Instagram post trumpeting the honor drew crickets, no likes or comments from her supposed inner circle, not even a heart emoji from Ryan. Observers analyzed every recent red carpet appearance and concluded that the couple's smiles looked forced at best. Supportive? Not buying it. The PR misfires didn't stop there. At the Time 100 Gala, Blake delivered a speech about domestic violence and sexual assault, serious topics, no doubt, but she tried to tie them to promotion for It Ends With Us, her forthcoming film adaptation that centers on domestic abuse. Critics winced. One minute she's urging us to dress in florals and see a movie. The next she's breezing past the grim reality survivors face daily. The crowd could practically feel the tonal whiplash. Long story short, the glossy facade is cracking fast. Multiple lawsuits, lukewarm allies, and a side-eyeing public are converging into a perfect storm. The balcony seats are full, popcorn in hand, waiting to see if Blake and Ryan's carefully curated power couple image can withstand the gale, or whether it'll topple just as quickly as their previous relationships did. In Hollywood, reputations rise and fall on optics, and right now the lens is anything but forgiving. Industry insiders say lucrative brand partnerships, once eager for Blake's wholesome image, are quietly edging away. A luxury fashion house replaced her as campaign face, citing creative realignment, and a streaming platform is said to be cooling on a splashy rom-com she was set to produce with Ryan. Meanwhile, Reynolds, deep in Deadpool promo mode, endures junkets where box office questions come bundled with gossip about his marriage. Whispers follow them everywhere.
People who see this movie, who relate to the topics of this movie on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people and they're going to want to tell you about their life. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you and then we could, I'm just curious
just
about
social security number.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm like, are we talking logistics? Are we talking emotionally?
Did y'all catch how she tried to joke about something this serious? She actually went on about how she's endured so much over the past 2 years, then dragged her mom into it, claiming it was her mother's idea to share her story as a survivor. Now she's suddenly talking about DVN and SA, and honestly, it's mind-blowing. I can't even begin to wrap my head around what made her PR team think this was a smart move. It's beyond tone-deaf.
Called influential. It's not only an honor, it's a significant responsibility. How we use that matters. Who and what we stand up for and what we say silent about matters. I have so much to say about the last 2 years of my life, but tonight is not the forum. My life was influenced most by my mother. She wanted me to share with you that she is a survivor of the worst crime someone can commit against a woman. I've watched her conceal her raw and undeserved shame my entire life. So as her daughter, being asked to share this today is monumental. My mom never got justice from her work acquaintance who attempted to take her life when she was the mother of 3 young kids years before I was born. She has always credited her beating heart today with the story she heard from another woman in a similar circumstance, speaking on the radio as my mom drove home one day. The woman painfully and graphically shared how she escaped. I am here, and my mom is here, because that woman not only survived, but she told others how. Never underestimate a woman's ability to endure pain.
It's clear that this was nothing more than a PR stunt, and honestly, it's personal now. People are seeing right through it, and Blake Lively is getting dragged hard. Let's be real, this kind of surface-level damage control isn't enough to fix the mess she and her husband have created. This drama has been going on for far too long, and it's only gaining momentum. As more voices speak out about Blake's behavior, especially how she's treated her co-stars, the backlash is only intensifying. But here's the question. Are you still interested in watching it all unfold, or are you over it? Has the saga gone on long enough? Even icons like Meryl Streep are now being interpreted as subtly calling her out, criticizing how Hollywood is being used as a platform for power plays rather than authentic storytelling.
So, what do you think?
Is there any way Blake can spin the narrative and win public favor again? Or is it too late? Sound off in the comments. And don't forget to check out the next video for more on this unfolding drama.